children are the ones that are going to save the world, and we need them to be in good shape. And the highly sensitive children automatically feel it. Unity, the importance of coming together, and sensitivity, but they need to learn strategies to take care of themselves in the midst of all the stress.
Especially in today's world with so much division and loneliness and digital disconnection, cyberbullying, it's more important now than ever before to raise children with empathy.
It's happened to be very neurologically oriented in terms of the science of empathy and using the science to make us stronger.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. My name is Stephanie Marie, and I'm on a mission to spread hope, sharing people's stories to encourage, inspire, and empower you. Today, I am so blessed and excited to welcome Dr. Judith Orloff, who is a New York Times bestselling author and a psychiatrist for the last 45 plus years, who specializes in treating highly sensitive people in her medical practice, and whose work has been featured on the Today Show, CNN, Oprah Magazine, the New York Times, USA Today, Forbes, Wall Street Journal, and she has even spoken at Google LA and TEDx. Her work focuses on the extraordinary gift and trait of empathy, on how it can open your heart and empower your life. Her books include The Genius of Empathy, Emotional Freedom, The Empath Survival Guide, and her upcoming children's book called The Highly Sensitive Rabbit helps sensitive kids embrace their empathic gifts as a strength. This is a very meaningful episode for me, as I've been an avid follower of Dr. Orloff's work for the longest time now, and her tools have truly helped me to navigate life's challenges, as I hope it does the same for you. Thank you, Dr. Orloff, for everything you've been doing with your work and your practice. I was jumping for joy when I heard you were coming on the podcast. I was just... To say you were my dream guest, you were my favorite author for the longest time. Thank you so much. This is an honor. I'm so thankful. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Are you starting your podcast?
Yes, I started a few months ago to have you on, my favorite author, as in my beginning stages. Thank you so much for coming here today and doing this. I'm really, truly honored.
You're very welcome. I'm happy for you that you're doing this. This is a great step.
Thank you. I just want to start with Dr. Orloff. Can you please tell us a little bit about your journey, how you became interested in psychiatry, and also helping highly sensitive kids and adults in particular?
I'm a psychiatrist and I'm an empath, and I combine my traditional psychiatric knowledge with the gifts of empathy and the gifts of intuition. And I just want to say to your audience that it's a natural coming together to be analytic and to be heartfelt and to be intuitive, as you have the potential to be many different ways. So don't let anyone ever tell you that that's not so. Well, I was a highly sensitive child, and I was called overly sensitive and weird and you don't belong. And why are you such a crybaby? And why are you off by yourself? Whatever. There's so many criticisms that could come at you that hurt. And they isolated me and they made me feel like I didn't belong in this world. And so on that basis, that was my motivation to try and find healing. I've always been motivated, and I've had guides along the way that have helped me to realize that in order to be whole and happy and free, I needed to integrate this intuitive, empathic side in my being. I could not do that. It's not going to be possible for me to be happy and not do that. So I integrated over the years, more. I began as a teenager. I didn't have support until I was a teenager, but the early days were rough. I felt so lonely, very lonely. But as a teenager, I started getting some help. So I connected more with other humans who could support me, which I needed. And I support everyone in getting support and therapy or coaching or training, whatever you need, you get. And so that motivated me to move towards the healing arts and become a psychiatrist and integrate intuition and highly sensitive traits into my practice. And so it's very important to me to be a conduit for that integration, that coming together, that you're not just one thing, that you're many things. And you want to embrace your great diversity of who you are as a soul and who other people are, to not be so freaked out by if someone's different than you.
That's incredible.
If you are, let's say you are, you could find solace in knowing we're all basically the same. We're human. And as human, we're a human family, but our minds can perceive differences. And if they're different, then it's scary. They equate difference
Yeah.
with scary. Like with highly sensitive children, they say, well, she's different. She's not doing A, B, C, and D. What's wrong? And
Mm.
there's nothing wrong, everybody. Nothing, nothing. So you want to just know that about your highly sensitive child. You want to help him or her find his own way that suits them perfectly and to be their authentic selves.
Oh, that's amazing. What inspired you to write The Highly Sensitive Rabbit, your new forthcoming children's book?
Yes, well, what inspired me to write the Highly Sensitive Rabbit is that I feel very strongly that the kids are going to inherit the earth sooner rather than later. Children are the ones that are going to save the world, and we need them to be in good shape. And the highly sensitive children automatically feel it. Unity, the importance of unity and coming together, and sensitivity, but they need to learn strategies to take care of themselves in the midst of all the stress so that they don't get brought down by that. So I wanted to offer the children a book to help them be wildly empathic and also feel good about it, as opposed to being drained all the time or being on overload or feeling like you don't belong. You won't be fighting those particular battles too much soon, when you read the book. And if you want to read my other books, you won't be fighting those battles because you won't need to. You'll have tools to work with yourself and enjoy the gift of being an empath and being a highly sensitive person. You see, but that's why it's so important to me, this whole field that I'm in. And my mission here is to help people embrace all of this so they could be bigger, larger human beings, heartfelt. That's very important to me. And there's so many sensitive kids who are feeling overwhelmed now, and like life is too much. And so I wanted to give them fun and simple strategies on what to do to center themselves, to set boundaries, to be able to have alone time, to be able to be with their animal friends, whatever they need to do. I wanted to put it into a book and make it clear to them. And it's a beautiful book. It's this is the cover. You're one of the first to see the cover, Stephanie Marie. And it's, of a little rabbit named Aurora, who is a highly sensitive rabbit, and she's looking up at the moon.
And the visuals are absolutely beautiful. The color palette is just so calming and relaxing. It's absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful visuals on this book, Dr. Orloff. It's amazing.
Thank you. Yes, the artist Katie Tanis is a very wonderful artist, and she loves animals so much. And plus, she's very talented. So the love and the talent come together to make a very soothing book and background, and beautiful. I've reread this book a lot because it's very soothing to me. I love it. I just love it. It makes me happy. So in any case, that's what I have going on now. And I have book events that you could come to if you go to my website at drjudithorloff.com. Well, one of the reasons that I can help people is I went through this myself as a child. I was called, quote, overly sensitive and shamed for my abilities. And you're weird. You have to get a tougher skin. All of the things that many of us hear that can be very destructive and hurtful. You're a little child, you're open, you're vulnerable, and people are saying these things that made me feel like they didn't like me, or I wasn't like them. I didn't belong to this earth. So the children's book, The Highly Sensitive Rabbit, is to tell children, you belong here. And there's so many of us out there, and you never have to feel alone again, and you're fine. You just have to learn certain skills in order to deal with the hard parts of being an empath.
Wow, exactly. And you really bring that experience forth in this book, and for parents and caregivers and teachers reading this, it's truly incredible. I want to talk about, so what are some behaviors of highly sensitive children that you've seen in your practice and beyond? And why do so many children, as you said, you were shamed for your sensitivities, but why do you think so many people are shamed for that?
Well, I know my mother, who was a physician, loved me, over-loved me. I was an only child, so gave me a lot of attention. She wanted me to be happy, and she felt that if I didn't fit a certain mold, that I wouldn't be happy, that if I didn't go down the main path, I wouldn't be happy. And I never went down the main path. That was never my way and never my path. I always went the road less traveled. And so it was her desire for my well-being, which was misconstrued. And sometimes parents can want the best for their children, but they're not exactly doing the right thing to help them. So she was afraid of people calling me weird. And if I was a physician, what would my peers think? All kinds of fear, rather than just letting me, the sensitive child, grow up and trust my abilities would lead me in the right direction, which it did. And so I want to offer that for children to help them find their true authentic selves. The highly empathic children, I mean, all children, but I'm just personally interested in the highly empathic children because that's what I was, and I suffered a lot from it. And I've also come out of that and enjoy my gifts totally these days. I would never change my path. I would never, ever want to do that because I love the way I experience the world. I mean, the empathic children have a connection to animals and to nature and to other humans, and they want to help others. They want to help the earth. They're good-hearted people. They may not want to go to big football games or concerts, and they may prefer walking in the woods to anything loud, or small dinners instead of large dinners where you have to yell. That's great. I mean, we all are ourselves, and that's what I'm all for, is everyone being themselves. And
That's
including
incredible.
the sensitive children, there's nothing to be ashamed of. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. I'm so glad you exist, and I'm so sorry that you were hurt or bullied or shamed.
That's beautiful. Wow, that's beautiful. Yep. So you have 8 books on empathy and your experiences also on intuition. You really have connected with every single person because empathy is the core of who we are as human beings. It's the way to connect. We can't connect with people if we don't have empathy. We can't see beyond ourselves. And I studied psychology, so I learned about what you said about how we notice those differences. Our brain notices differences, but really, if you dig deep, we're more alike than we are different. I love that you said that. Really, it's
Yes, we're
beautiful.
different and we're the same. We're mainly the same, but we're different. And there's
Mm,
enough of that difference that makes it seem like it's really a lot. And it's
mm,
actually not that much difference. We're more the same than we are different, but our mind focuses on the differences. And the differences are beautiful too.
mm.
It's the colors of the rainbow. It's, all different kinds of feathers, and all turkey feathers and eagle feathers and hawk's feathers. They're just beautiful to have all these feathers.
It is. And one thing I found, especially like as someone who just loves studying about the brain, you mentioned about how when we are showing empathy, the mirror neurons in our brain actually are firing more. So this is happening. Empathy really happens in our minds and our brains. And I found that so interesting, really. It was amazing.
It's happened to be very neurologically
Mm,
oriented in terms of the science of empathy and using the science to make us stronger. The mirror neurons
mm.
in the brain, the compassion neurons in the brain are said to overfire and fire a lot, so that we're very aware of being compassionate with everybody all the time. And that can be a little much. And so it's important, again, as we spoke about before, to learn how to center ourselves and to grow.
That's beautiful. I really love your work and really giving the tools, the skills, the coping mechanisms to thrive in this world because empathy is a gift. And I know it can be like very overwhelming at times when we're taking on the feelings of others, but it's truly a gift and you've helped so many to see that. I just want to ask you, so how can highly sensitive children center themselves, but really anyone in general that can be overwhelmed by this world when they're feeling overwhelmed, how can people center themselves really?
Yeah, it's very important that highly sensitive people and all children learn how to calm themselves down.
Yes.
Because when they go on sensory overload, too much is coming at them too fast. And there's sound, there's light, there's all kinds of noise and perhaps traffic wherever you are. And so it's too much stimulation. And what that does is that stops you from thinking clearly, and it makes you feel incredibly anxious. And so
Yes.
what you need to do is to stop, take a breath, and begin to use the breath to self-regulate and calm down so that you can use the breath. And if the thoughts come, they'll be going like this. You just say, I'm taking a micro break out for me to be with myself and to calm down. And so just
Yes.
whatever you do, breathe in and breathe out and breathe in and breathe out, even if your mind is rushing. And also try and get in an area of lower stimulation. If you can get into a quiet room, if you can take a time out from people, that will help you to calm down.
That's wonderful. And the tools in the book emphasizes is really four important needs of highly sensitive children. One, setting boundaries. Two, expressing their needs to a trusted adult, trusted caregiver, having alone time. And also fourth, talking to someone that's going to understand them. So why is it so important to have all of these factors that you talk about in the book?
Well, especially the last one, the highly sensitive rabbit focuses on this little rabbit, Aurora, after losing her house and being in a state of desperation, meets these other animals who give her advice on how she can be a balanced, empathic rabbit. And one of those is finding people who understand you. And that's important, where she has one friend, the javelina, who's a wild boar, such a beautiful creature, but different. She's different. And the javelina says, you need to take time out alone and talk to a friend. I can be your friend and you could talk to me, or we could just sit in silence. And so to have someone like that in your life who's maybe highly sensitive too, who can accept you, and they don't want to make you louder or more boisterous. They want to accept that you're a quiet person and you enjoy nature and you can either talk or not talk. And just that self-acceptance, that acceptance from another being also is so empowering when you haven't had it. And so it might be hard to find other HSPs, but they're all over now. And a quick way to find one is if you go to the schoolyard and you look at the corner and see where the little child is sitting in the corner, that's probably a highly sensitive person. Those are the people I gravitate to in parties. I like those people.
Wow. I remember you spoke about in your talk with Google, and I thought, wow, that's so interesting. But to go up to someone and just ask, like, would you like to speak, like that active listening? Would you like to talk? I'm here for you. It just goes such a long way. So that's incredible. And I would love to ask you, how do you think that the highly sensitive rabbit helps children and also people, really adults too, to reconnect with their inner child? How do you think it helps people to embrace the gift of sensitivity and also the gifts of empathy as well?
Yes, well, it's so beautiful, and it's such a loving book. It will put you in a good mood, and it will make you start feeling really good about yourself and joyous about your abilities, and accepting that there's some hard parts of being an empath, but knowing how to deal with that and feeling okay about that and not fighting that. So it's the story of Aurora's emergence from being scared and being called a crybaby and I don't want to play with you and what's wrong with you, to finding a little circle of animals who can support her. When you're worried, I want you to do this. Or when you're needing to be alone, this would be a good idea. You can try it if you like. So a very gentle offering. It's not, you should do this. And then, it's not, you don't offer things to a highly sensitive child in that way. You're very gentle. You're not pushy or anxious or insistent about anything. You just present it and you have faith in their ability to take it in. And also to say, if you have any problems with this or you're confused, let me know. And we could work it out together.
Yes, definitely. And, I feel, especially in today's world, I feel with so much division and loneliness and digital disconnection, cyberbullying, I feel that it's more important now than ever before to raise children with empathy and to really nurture the sensitivities that children have and to make them feel that they're not alone or an outcast or different because of that. Why do you think it's especially so important to teach children empathy?
Well, in our world, which is really discombobulated and chaotic and all kinds of terrible things are happening, you have to remember there are all kinds of good things happening too. And maybe within your own heart, within your family, and wherever your smaller microcosm of existence. And so you want to be happy for your child. You want to take those moments and go on a walk after dinner with your child and just have it be you and him or her. Just taking a walk together. This will be remembered. This is so important in raising a sensitive child. What you think are smaller things are really important. Really, bonding and really making the child feel safe and allowing the child time just to offer whatever impressions they have. Ooh, look at this, or ooh, look at that, or ooh, I don't want to go there. And just letting the child freely respond as opposed to canceling anything. Just let the child be themselves. And if you don't understand something, you can say, oh, that's interesting. Tell me about it more. So be really curious with your child. And let's say they say something you don't understand, you can ask them about it, but it's a way of bonding. It's important to bond with a highly sensitive child so they feel safe, so they feel loved, so they feel that they have support. And doing these things like taking walks or going to the store if you want to do it together, or just having little gatherings, maybe 2 or 3 people, reading the book. You can get together. What families are doing or they're reading the book, they're opening up the book. And here's a picture of
Oh,
their
that's
environment.
beautiful.
It's the desert, but looking at it and oohing and eyeing at it together.
Mm,
And this is, the togetherness is what will help the child if it's a kind of a calm, quiet togetherness.
it
And you
is.
can enjoy yourself too as an adult. You don't have to say, oh, I'm an adult. This isn't going to affect me. It will, because as a highly sensitive child, I still have that part of me inside. And it's really been activated with this book. She's really come out a lot. And we need to take care of our highly sensitive children inside as adults. I mean, that's
Mm.
equally as important because you're the one in charge now and you're the one who can protect him or her and take
Oh,
good
wow.
care of him or her. And she goes everywhere with you. Whether you're aware of her or not, I don't know, but I would like to make you more aware of her
Mm.
or him.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. And I think like children have this beautiful outlook on life, this like innocent purity. And I just think like really with this book, it allows you to have that lens of life. And I just
Mhm.
find that so beautiful. Dr. Orloff, I'd like to ask you, the name of my podcast starts with hope. And I'd like to ask you, what role has hope played in your journey? And how do you hold on to it today?
Yes, hope and faith when all is falling apart. Hope
Mm,
and faith when you can rebuild, that good things will happen. Hope and faith that you won't be afraid all the time, and that you're able to stay in the now. Hope and faith that good things can
mm,
happen in your life and the lives of your children, as opposed to, catastrophizing about the future. That's something that empaths often do. Oh my God, what if this happens? What if that happens? And by the time you're done, you're on sensory overload or you're never done. It just keeps going. And so that's why it's important to have hope and faith. I bring up the idea of a higher power and there's something greater that you could connect with, however you define it. It's not just your will that's going to create the kind of life that you're hoping for. It's reaching out to an invisible hand and saying, here, take my hand and help to reach out to something larger than yourself. It could be nature. It could be the universe. It could be you're standing under the stars and your arms are out and you're going, please, I'm sinking. Please help me. And whatever is out there, the goodness, the love, it will come. It will come in, but you have to ask. That's the thing. You have to ask. You can't just sit there and wait. Sometimes it'll come, but most definitely, if you put your hand out and take that first step, you'll get that extra help that we all need here. This is a very challenging planet and so many things happening here. So a little extra help can help. And the help is basically love. However you could find love, whether it's from your family, whether it's from nature or animals, or you just talking to your friend, we need help and support. And that's a good thing because we're the same family. We're the human family and we can help and support each other in so many ways. And that's important. And in my life, that's been really important to have my circle of people. We go through various things in life, and sometimes it's really hard. And it's helpful to have people who know and love you as a cushion there. So it's good to have at least one person. One person is precious. It's not important to have a million people. As extroverts tend to have a bigger social sphere. They have a posse. They go around with 20 people all the time. But empaths don't really do that I've seen. But I'm always open to hearing a new experience. I always had a best friend as a child. I had one child that I talked to, I climbed trees with, I went and did sports with, and I went on my skateboard with. And that was great. I like that. I preferred that. So highly sensitive children often do. So consider that you don't want to bog them down with all these play dates. It's too much for them. They want quality, not quantity.
I've always been like, as a child, when I read your works, I started to see my life and realize, wow, I've always been that person that never fit in. I always kind of did my own thing. And again, it's always noted as it's a difference, but I think that that difference is what is beautiful, really, and makes us shine. And that's truly amazing. Like, if you'll seek, you'll find. So, and I think this book is like a way to give back to like help the younger generation. This is truly amazing, Dr. Orloff.
I don't know
Wonderful.
where you are, Stephanie and Marie, but I would love to see you at one of
Oh
them.
my goodness, I would love to. I'm all the way on the other side of the
Oh,
US. I'm in New York. If you ever have any virtual events or any, I don't know if you do any live streams or anything or interviews, I would love to attend them. And, one day maybe we'll get to meet. I don't know. Sometimes
yeah.
paths collide.
Come to the virtual event I'm giving with my friend and colleague Susan Stifelman on raising
Oh,
empathic
wow.
children. And it's on my website and it's in
Okay.
October.
Yes.
So it'd be great to see you there.
Dr. Orloff, is there anything that you'd like to elaborate on?
When you're reading The Highly Sensitive Rabbit, bring your adult and your sensitive child together and have that be
Mm,
part of the healing of reading the book. Because that they can do that, it can bring them together, and it'll be incredibly fun for you. And I use the word fun. I love fun,
mm.
and this book is fun. And this book it will open your heart, and that's always a good thing when your heart is open. But it's not simplistic or disinteresting. It's a beautiful story, a simple story, and I just offer it up to you. And I hope it can open your heart and add to the way you treat yourself and bring more heart into the world.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Dr. Orloff, for your works that you've done. You've given so much hope to people like me, to all over the world. Throughout your practice for 45 plus years, you've truly given so much hope, encouragement, and you really are a light in this world. Thank you so much for speaking with me today. I feel honored and blessed, truly.
You're very welcome. It's been delightful to speak to you. Very nice to meet you.
You can pre-order The Highly Sensitive Rabbit on Amazon US, Canada, UK, Australia, and Barnes & Noble for its upcoming release on October 7th. Explore more at www.drjudithorloff.com, and I will have all of Dr. Orloff's socials linked below. Thank you so much, Dr. Orloff, for sharing your wisdom with us and the hope you are giving this world. If this message has resonated with you, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment down below letting me know what has been your favorite book that Dr. Orloff has written thus far, or which book would you like to read going forward. And also let me know what's been your favorite part of this episode. I will see you in the next one. Have a fabulous day. Bye-bye.